This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Sin City Smackdown Live. This is your official review and results for tonight's show, September 12th, 2017. And my God, Kevin Owens, bro. Kevin Owens, bro. He looks like a refrigerator, bro. I can open him up and I can grab a nice piece of chicken, bro. Kevin Owens. Or did he eat the whole bowl of chicken? Kevin Owens, bro. Kevin Owens committing the ultimate sin. The ultimate sin in Las Vegas. Did he go sleep with a stripper? No. Did he go attend a show at Caesar's Palace? No, he didn't. Did he have a crazy night on the town with a couple of broads? No. He committed the ultimate sin, bro. He attacked Vince McMahon tonight in an angle that is going to get a lot of people talking the rest of this week leading on into Hell in a Cell, man. We haven't seen an angle done like that in a very long time with Vince McMahon. This was a big show, an underwhelming show, by the way. It really wasn't all that cracked up, let me rephrase that. It wasn't all that WWE intended it to be. You know, Sin City Smackdown, it wasn't everything that we expected. We expected a monumental pay-per-view-esque show. I felt very underwhelmed by this thing. At certain points, I was bored with this show. But that ending really made people open their eyes. That ending is going to get a lot of people talking going on into Hell in a Cell, man. And we're going to discuss that, how it got started. We got the live audio. We're going to go over all that. Vince McMahon on SmackDown Live, as well as 3 championship title matches on Sin City Smackdown. Now, the last time SmackDown actually had a show like this was the last show of 2016 for SmackDown Live. That very last episode of SmackDown Live. And I keep referencing that because that was one of the best shows that they put on since the brand split. And coming out of SummerSlam, WWE had all these weeks for Hell in a Cell. So they needed something in between. Raw has No Mercy. No Mercy happening in a couple of weeks. So Raw's got their pay-per-view. Meanwhile, SmackDown Live has no pay-per-view for September. We got to wait till, I think it's the first week of October. If I'm not mistaken, it's either the first or second week of October for Hell in a Cell. So they got all this time to fill, all this television time to supply us with, and there's no pay-per-view for SmackDown Live. So they really had to make a gimmick of sorts for SmackDown in between. So this week it was Sin City Smackdown, then we got No Mercy, and then we got SmackDown's pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, coming up. Now, they did that last year with this ending to SmackDown Live for 2016 because they had TLC in the beginning of December, and they had nothing for the rest of the month of December, and then all of January, pretty much, because the last Sunday in January is generally Royal Rumble Sunday. So they put on a pay-per-view worthy show, and that's exactly what they did tonight. 3 championship matches: Styles, Dillinger, Usos, New Day, Natalya, Naomi, and then Vince McMahon. They loaded the show up, and we're going to go over all that today right here on SmackDown Live. The Mae Young Classic is taking place right now. I'm not going to be talking about anything regarding the Mae Young Classic final. I will be watching it after I'm done here. I will review it tomorrow morning. I know there was a red carpet introduction for everybody. They made a big deal about it. Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Ronda Rousey, the 4 Horsewomen. Everybody was there. Rumors are going crazy about Ronda Rousey and Charlotte having some type of confrontation tonight during the Mae Young Classic final, which will pretty much be the kickoff for WWE versus MMA, the 4 Horsewomen Survivor Series potential feud that will be culminating at the Survivor Series pay-per-view in November. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm sure it'll be exciting. I'm going with Kairi Sane. I made a video on it today regarding the quarterfinals and the semifinals. If you guys missed that, that will be linked in the video within the annotation here. Make sure you guys go and check that out. I'm going with Kairi Sane, and I don't think this match really should go to Shayna Baszler because she's going to have a major role on the main roster anyway with this 4 Horsewomen feud. So she really doesn't need the Mae Young Classic. Now, I know a lot of people are telling me, JD, you got to have Shayna Baszler win to make her look legit. There's nothing wrong in Kairi Sane beating Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is, a professional in MMA. This isn't MMA. She's green as fuck in that ring. Kairi Sane is a professional. She is the veteran there. So if Shayna Baszler loses to Kairi Sane, it really isn't going to do anything. because she's going to be thrusted into this 4 horsewoman feud. That actually might play into the ending of this match. There might be some fuck finish. I have no idea. So we got to see what happens. But regardless of that, I think Kairi Sane needs to win this because she's going to be the one to take over Asuka. She's going to NXT. She's not going to be at the Survivor Series. She has nothing to do with the 4 horsewomen. So I think Kairi Sane needs to win this tournament, win that prestigious Mae Young trophy. And I think she needs to take the honor and the prestige of everything that she's accumulated so far and really make a run for NXT and be the one to take that NXT Women's Championship and do exactly what Asuka did with it. Because I see a beautiful replacement there for Asuka. Nobody's going to be Asuka. But that doesn't mean Kairi Sane can't be, or get to that level that Asuka is. She's been very, very impressive so far in the Mae Young Classic. And a lot of people really enjoy what she's been doing. But I would not book Shayna Baszler to win this thing. Those are just my quick thoughts on that. And we'll go over this again tomorrow when I actually review the entire show. But Shayna Baszler doesn't need to win this thing if she's going to be thrusted into the 4 horsewoman feud. And by the looks of it, from an outsider looking in, if you've been watching the entire tournament like I have, seems like WWE used this entire tournament and the domination of Shayna Baszler through this entire tournament to be the catalyst for this feud. So they used this tournament as a catalyst for this 4 horsewomen feud between WWE and the MMA. You know, on one hand, fine. It works. It's an angle. It's going to be a big payoff. But on the other hand, you know, it kind of diminishes what the entire tournament was. You use this tournament as a vehicle for one woman to spur a storyline that's going to include every one of your most popular women on the main roster. I'm kind of indifferent towards that, man. I really am. But the tournament did its job. The tournament, you know, it spawned some new women that I can't wait to see down at NXT, like Bianca Belair and Toni Storm. You know? But it is what it is, man. That's just the way I feel about Kairi Sane and the Shayna Baszler showdown tonight. We'll see what happens. I'm going with Kairi Sane. I think she deserves it. I think it's the most logical decision of the two. Shayna Baszler does not need it at all. But I do get where the other guys are coming from. I do get where you guys are coming from, that she needs to win to keep that momentum to look legit. How's it going to make Shayna Baszler look if she loses? Who cares? Who cares? She's green as fuck. So she's going to be outclassed and out-wrestled by the better wrestler. There's nothing wrong with that. But SmackDown Live, man. We're going to talk about SmackDown Live in just a second. If you missed my Monday Night Raw review, please go and check it out. That will be within the video in the annotation. If you guys missed Off the Script, that's there as well. If you guys want to support, you guys know the deal. Patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys get 30 days free to listen to their service. Try their service out. 1 free audiobook always included when you sign up. New signees only. I know Charlotte's got a new book. You guys can get that for free if you guys want to get Charlotte Flair's new autobiography. Great way to support the show. And then barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. You guys can still use coupon code JD17 at checkout to support through Barbershop Window. We are officially partnered with Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window. SmackDown Live opened up with the Kevin Owens thing. With the Kevin Owens, bro. The Kevin Owens storyline. Owens welcomes us to SmackDown Live. This will be the Kevin Owens show. And I'm going to let Kevin Owens explain to you what he wants to do to SmackDown Live when he successfully sues the WWE. I want Kevin Owens to go over who he would fire, how he would change the announce team, what new position he'd give to Daniel Bryan. So we'll go over all that. I'm going to let Kevin Owens explain it to you because he certainly has a better voice than I do. So this is what Kevin Owens said as we all waited for Vince McMahon to arrive on SmackDown Live. Kevin Owens was in the ring to open the show. This is what Kevin Owens stated before we got the arrival of Mr. Vince McMahon.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show. Now, you all better get used to hearing me say that because last week you all saw Shane McMahon's brutal and cowardly attack on me, an attack during which I must point out, I never fought back. And I didn't fight back because I chose not to fight back. And the reason why is because I respect authority.
Now, when he said that, that was a good excuse on his behalf. It made sense. Kevin Owens didn't want to strike an official, but boy, does that change drastically at the end of this show. Kevin Owens completely went against everything that he just meant with that one line. And like I said, a complete polar opposite than what he perceived or how he came off in this opening segment.
That's right, and Shane McMahon was a figure of authority, and he put his hands on me. He attacked me, which is why I am now suing everyone in WWE. And we're gonna make a few changes around here, a few improvements. Some people are gonna get fired. And the first person to get fired is going to be Sami Zayn.
Road Dogg? Can we vote for Road Dogg?
Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton, don't worry, you're not getting fired, but we are going to make an improvement to that commentary table, because from now on, you will have to wear the same suit. And let me clarify, I don't mean 2 suits that look the same, no. 2 guys, 1 suit.
Tom Phillips has
Because
such a
you know
defeated
what?
attitude, man.
Exactly
You got to
the
see
same
him.
on TV, so you may as well become the same person.
Corey Graves was looking at him just smirking, man. He was fucking loving that shit. Tom Phillips was like, I don't believe this guy is talking shit about me. Byron Saxton's like, here we go, another week of Kevin Owens just shitting all over me, man. It was fantastic. I love it.
Here's one. You know the Fashion Files? Yeah, everyone loves those, right? Well, I don't. Canceled forever.
I wish it was that easy, man.
So there's no point in dragging this out. Let's do it right now. Mr. McMahon, come on out.
Now, one thing I want to mention here, I really didn't like the placement of how they did things here. Now, I understand that there's no football on Tuesday nights, and WWE wanted to save Vince for the end, but they could have easily, you know, put on AJ Styles versus Ty Dillinger in the main event. I understand this is the biggest thing on SmackDown Live right now, but always, you know, WWE kind of switches things up, and some things some weeks don't make sense. You know, the most important thing sometimes is on the beginning, and then the least important things on at the end. I wouldn't have minded if Vince McMahon came out and just started the show with a bang. But obviously, after what we seen how this show ended and what we seen Kevin Owens did to Vince McMahon, they wanted to send everybody home with that shock and awe, you know, that shock and awe feeling to close SmackDown Live. So I didn't get it when I was watching it in this segment, but then I kind of understood why they put it on last when we seen what went down to close SmackDown Live.
This is going to be good.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. No! No! It can't be! No!
Dude, I swear to God, Dolph Ziggler does a better Shane McMahon than Shane McMahon does Shane McMahon, man. Absolutely picture perfect impersonation of Shane McMahon. I know I'm not the only one who thought that. I thought it was Shane.
Man. You know, for a second, I actually thought you were Shane McMahon, but it turns out you're an actually talented person who actually works here, which rules out Shane altogether, doesn't it?
It's a great point. That's a great point.
Well,
Sorry. It's just old Dolph Ziggler again. Trying out a new entrance, you know, and have to put that one maybe in the maybe pile. It didn't really work out. Didn't care
maybe.
for it.
I mean, nobody else is using it, so why not? Well, Dolph, thank you so much. Thanks for entertaining us.
Man, that
We'll
was
see you
great.
later
Hey, man,
tonight.
this whole Dolph
All right,
Ziggler
well,
shit is
since there
ridiculous,
is
but that was humorous,
no
man. That was funny.
McMahon in this building, I'm going to keep telling you how the Kevin Owens show will be much...
And my God, does Daniel Bryan still get the biggest reactions in this company, man. It's unreal.
No, it's not. The commissioner might be indefinitely suspended, but General Manager Daniel Bryan is here tonight.
You don't have to worry about not having a job, because once I take over, I actually have big plans for you as the Kevin Owens Show's resident janitor. Yeah, you know, you can clean up and make sure everything looks
Kevin Owens
nice.
is great, man.
You'll be great.
Yeah, so I'm not opposed to a little bit of hard work and manual labor. You should probably try it.
Oh, wow. Was that a knock on his weight, bro?
But just wait, because Mr. McMahon is going to be here very soon. And you aren't going to like what he has to say.
Oh, Daniel, let me assure you, I cannot wait until Mr. McMahon gets here. And trust me, he is not going to like what I have to say.
Damn, Kevin Owens throwing threats down, bro. That was a very good segment, man. Very good way to start SmackDown Live. We went into the United States Championship match with AJ Styles and Ty Dillinger to open the show this week, with the United States Championship being on the line. This match only went 7 minutes, man. Only 7 minutes. I wish WWE gave these guys at least another 10 minutes, man. You know, 10 minutes might be pushing it. You could have gave them another 7 to 8 minutes, bro. Seriously, I honestly, with this match, the potential is there to really steal the show with these two. I really do believe that. I feel Ty Dillinger is an untapped potential on SmackDown Live. He's over. The fans like him. He's got that underdog character that is infectious, and he makes you want to cheer for him in whatever situation happens. There was a point here where I actually thought Ty Dillinger was going to win the title. He did the tiebreaker. He did his finishing move. And it was such a near fall that I literally jumped out of my seat. I was like, holy shit. I thought Ty Dillinger won the goddamn United States Championship on SmackDown Live. You know, it's moments like that that really make you wonder why they aren't booking him better on this show. But in the end, Ty Dillinger fell to a calf crusher. You know? AJ, Baron Corbin comes out. AJ hits him with a forearm. You know? Baron Corbin's out with the distraction. AJ gets the phenomenal forearm to drop Baron Corbin, and then gets caught in a tiebreaker for the near fall. Like I said, I thought it was over after that. It was a perfect setup for a new champion for a title change. Then all of a sudden, the calf crusher is applied, and AJ retains the title. That's it. And that was it. I swear to God, man, these guys should have been given another 7-8 minutes. I don't know what WWE did with the rest of the show, but another 7 or 8 minutes should have went to this match. Easily. And I hope it's not the last we see of these two. I feel so underwhelmed with not only the United States Championship Open that AJ Styles has kind of reinstituted here on SmackDown Live, but I feel cheated after AJ said, you know what? I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to open the U.S. Open Challenge to you only. It's Ty Dillinger's Open Challenge only. And we still get to see Baron Corbin. But I might be reaching for straws here, man. You know, I knew we were going to see Baron Corbin. I'm glad that he didn't really interject himself at the beginning of this match, and we didn't get a repeat of what we got last week. You know? But he still made his presence known, and I'm still not excited about a Baron Corbin, AJ Styles U.S. title feud. I'm not. So, I don't know where they're going with this. Clearly, Baron Corbin is not as buried as people think if he's in a program with AJ Styles for the United States Championship. But I definitely would like to see more of Ty Dillinger in this type of role. But I guess we can't complain too much because Baron Corbin showed up at the end. He really didn't play a factor into the outcome. But he did attack AJ Styles after the match. AJ, after the match, shakes Ty Dillinger's hand. Ty Dillinger was selling his leg injury from the calf crusher. And then Corbin pulls AJ out from under the ring to the floor. Dillinger gets taken down as well, followed by Corbin laying out Styles on the floor. Corbin is answering the Open Challenge next week on SmackDown Live. So, I don't know what that means. I mean, the open challenge is open to anybody. Maybe someone comes out ahead of Baron Corbin and he has beef with that individual. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. But I honestly, and I know you guys feel the same way, not really what I expected from these two. I expected more. We're lucky we got Ty Dillinger in anything of this importance on SmackDown Live. So I guess we really can't be complaining too much, but I expected more. I was very underwhelmed by this United States Championship match. Now, we go from that to Rusev. Rusev, yes, he's alive. He's still employed. He went back to Bulgaria. But the interview was not so much about Rusev tonight. It was about how WWE hires the most robotic individuals as backstage interviewers. I don't even know this woman's name. I don't. What is this? Dasha Fuentes, I think? I don't know. But she is absolutely god-awful. She must have went to the... She must have gone to the Sharbot School of Robotics. How to sound like an android. Listen to this, man. I don't want to make you guys cringe on my review, but this has absolutely got to be brought to everybody's attention. Seriously, listen to this.
Now, please welcome my guest, Rusev.
Now, please welcome my guest, Rusev. Now, please welcome my guest, Rusev. Are you serious with this? Are you serious with this? And then she does what it is. She's looking directly in the camera, and then she does like she's a fucking android. What is this shit, man? Are you serious with this? The same thing happened. I didn't mention it on my Monday Night Raw review last night. Mike Rome is the best ring announcer that WWE has. Mike Rome does the ring announcing for NXT. When he's in NXT, listen to him at TakeOver. The enthusiasm in his voice is infectious. He sounds excited to be there. Last night on Monday Night Raw, this guy's in the ring, and he's introducing Braun Strowman and John Cena. The guy feels like death. Feels like he doesn't even want to be there. And coming down the aisle, weighing 257 pounds, John Cena. What? I could do a better job. Anybody listening to me can do a better job. Is there a directive in WWE for all their personnel, for everybody that handles a microphone to sound like a robot, to be lacking enthusiasm? I mean, I don't get this. What type of shit is this? Where do they find these people? How could they be pleased? How could they watch this back? Because I know they all watch YouTube. How do you watch your work and then be okay with the way you sound? You don't think you sound and look ridiculous here? My God. This was more of a talking point than whatever Rusev talked about. But Rusev did speak. He did mention Randy Orton's 10-second victory over him at SummerSlam, and he threatened a legend. I don't know who that could possibly be, but Rusev speaks.
Rusev, you've requested this time to discuss your recent trip back to Bulgaria. What was it like to return home?
What was it like to return
I
home?
suffered the biggest embarrassment of my career and my life after Randy Orton defeated me in 10 seconds. So I needed the time to go home, recharge, and be with the family and people who love me. But they didn't greet me with open arms. They didn't greet me at all. They looked at me with shame and embarrassment. They expected me to come home as a winner. Instead, I came home as a loser. But Rusev is not a loser. I lost my killer instinct, but I know what I have to do to get it back. I must break a legend.
Now, I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means as far as what Rusev is going to do. But that could mean Randy Orton. Randy Orton's a legend. That could mean Daniel Bryan. I have no idea. There's really nobody else on the roster at all. I mean, who could Rusev be possibly talking about in that segment? You know, I guess we should be happy that Rusev has some sort of direction on this show, even though we don't know what it is. I don't know. My number one there, as far as what Rusev is talking about, is Randy Orton. Is he going to do to Randy Orton what Randy Orton did to him at SummerSlam? I don't know. Randy Orton was nowhere to be found on this show. So that might possibly be it. Because it can't be anybody else. Can't be anybody else. So we'll see what happens with that on SmackDown Live with Rusev. Interesting to say the least. Jinder Mahal's in the ring. And normally when this man speaks, I pay no attention because he is absolutely god-awful. God-awful. But people were telling me that they laughed at his promo. Now, I swear to God, I swear on everything that I own, I did not pay attention to when Jinder Mahal talked. I was on Twitter. I had the television on at a very low volume. I wasn't paying attention to what he and the Cringe brothers were doing because I just don't care. Quite frankly, I don't care what they're doing in the ring. But we're going to listen to the interview. We're going to listen to the segment, rather, the promo from Cringer Mahal here on SmackDown Live as he does his best to put down Shinsuke Nakamura. And mind you, no Shinsuke Nakamura on this show. No Shinsuke Nakamura on this show. So there you go. So Jinder Mahal, talking about Shinsuke Nakamura, mocks him on SmackDown Live. And this is what Jinder Mahal had to say in regards to his upcoming match at Hell in a Cell with the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura.
The next challenger for my WWE Championship, the artist Shinsuke Nakamura.
Wow, Jinder has bass in his voice today, bro.
Such a wealth of experience, a charisma and energy never seen before in the WWE.
I gotta admit, I'm gonna stop it here. Jinder tonight looked good with his green suit, you know. I'm sure Kevin Dunn picked out that color. It looks like a forest green. He went with the forest green color tonight, bro. Oh, Jinder, you look like, you could be with my friends in the forest. And you know what the forest has, right, man? Wood. He looked good. Listen. Does he look like a champion? Yes. But looks only go so far. Is he a champion? No. Does he act like a champion? No. Does he wrestle like a champion? No, not at all. He may look like a champion. He looks good with his black scarf and his turban and his forest green. Very nicely put together there as he's talking in this segment on SmackDown Live. But other than that, the guy is absolutely god-awful. God-awful.
My preparation is not only physical.
His beard looks very good, too. I gotta admit that.
How do I know what the artist is going to be thinking? I get inside of his head.
Yeah? So they're building this storyline now, or this feud, on weird faces Nakamura makes when he comes out to the ring. Is that what this is about now? So he's mocking Nakamura and the facial expressions he makes when he makes his way down to the ring with his ring entrance. That's all I got from this. So that's more than enough for these two guys to be fighting for the WWE Championship, right? I don't understand it.
The artist. What do you see when you see this image? Do you see inspiration? Do you see motivation?
I know what I see. I know what I see when I look at Jinder Mahal. I see failure. I see somebody who doesn't deserve to be a champion. I see someone who's god-awful. I see someone who can't wrestle. I see a jobber in disguise. I see a disgrace to the WWE Championship. I see a lot of things, Jinder Mahal. So this is the opposite of what you are looking at, bro. Because I see champion in Nakamura. While you see disgrace and a joke, I see champion. Meanwhile, the majority of the people watching this show can agree with my sentiments on Mr. Jinder Mahal. Guy's a joke. Guy is a god-awful champion, and I so wish somebody in WWE would listen to me. Why can't we trade AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura? Can't these two guys switch titles? Can't they switch positions? If Jinder was the U.S. champion, my God, that would be a heat magnet. That would be appropriate heat for this clown. And then AJ, obviously, clear-cut WWE champion. Why can't we switch roles? I feel like both men are in positions that don't suit them. AJ with the U.S. title, he should be WWE champion. We should be talking about Nakamura and Styles. Instead, we got Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura. Are you kidding me? Hopefully, WWE rectifies that, and sometime later this year, early next year, we get both of these guys flip-flopped. Jinder with the U.S. title, AJ with the WWE title.
What I see is constipation.
Oh my God.
And then there's this one. This right here is Shinsuke Nakamura when he's listening to Michael Jackson thinking, what can I rip off next?
So, Nakamura is cringing. He's making one of those faces that he's in the ring. He's hurt. He's like doing one of these scrunched up faces. That's the look I get every time Jinder Mahal wins a match. That's the look I made at SummerSlam when Jinder Mahal beat Nakamura clean. So, this guy needs to shut his mouth and fast. Look, then the Singh brothers do Nakamura's,
and
they fall down.
This one.
Bunch of fucking idiots, man. So Nakamura's doing a duck face.
The far too familiar face of Shinsuke Nakamura. When somebody yells out, Godzilla! Shinsuke, you do not want to hold this WWE Championship, because if you do, these people will treat you the same way that they treat me.
Wow, Jinder, you must be really stupid. No!
They will chant USA when you're trying to speak.
No! No, we won't. We'd be chanting, thank you, Shinsuke!
They will say you can't speak English, nor do you care to learn English. They will say that your eyes are different, your skin's different, your hair's different.
And you can't wrestle! Nakamura can't speak English, and you can't wrestle!
They will tell you you look like Pikachu is having a seizure.
I gotta admit, man. That line was kind of hilarious, man. That line was good, even though I don't agree with it, and this guy still sucks. He still sucks, all because he got me to laugh once in 9 months here. You know.
Shinsuke Nakamura, it's not worth it. I advise you to walk away. It will not be worth it, Shinsuke.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You being WWE champion either.
The suffering you feel when you face the modern day Mahal.
Is our suffering worth it to listen to you? Huh? We're suffering watching this clown.
At Hell in the Cell, now in Punjabi. Shinsuke Nakamura, tu kuch nahi Jinder Mahal de muqabale ch, kuch nahi Maharaja de muqabale de vich, karke sada de lay Raj karuga Raj.
Blah 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 blah. Modern day failure.
Mahal.
Yeah. He sucks. So Jinder mocks Shinsuke Nakamura tonight on SmackDown Live, calling him Pikachu and just kind of making fun of his facial expressions. This is building towards a WWE Championship match. This is building towards a WWE Championship match. I swear to God, if they put this inside Hell in a Cell, there's got to be some blithering idiot in WWE making these decisions. Vince. Can't be Hell in a Cell. Cannot be inside Hell in a Cell. Anyway, moving on from that, we get the tag team titles, the second title match on this show, the Usos versus The New Day. And I just had a feeling this was going to happen. I've been telling people beforehand. People ask me, JD, do you see any title changes on this week's show? I'm like, yes. I don't see Natty losing the title, and I don't see AJ losing the title. If there was one, it would be the Usos losing the title to the New Day again. So I don't understand this, man. This was easily the best match on the show. If there's been one thing about SmackDown Live that's been great, consistently, it's the matches that the Usos and the New Day have had. And this culminated, and I hope this is a blow-off. I hope this is a blow-off. But with 3 weeks left to go until, actually, no, we got a whole month, I think. We got a whole fucking month for between now and Hell in a Cell. So we may actually still get this match at Hell in a Cell. They might put these two teams inside Hell in a Cell, for all we know. I have no idea. But there's been one thing on SmackDown Live that's been consistent, and that's been great. It's the feud between the New Day and the Usos. They work well together. These are two teams who clearly have fun working with one another. I am not a fan of these hot potato title changes. I'm not. The Usos, and I'm going to stress this again, there was no reason for the Usos to lose the titles in the first place. The Usos lost the titles at Battleground. They won them back at SummerSlam. It should have been the other way around. It should have been the other way around. The New Day should have won the titles at SummerSlam, and if you wanted this street fight, the feud could have still been booked all through these weeks to culminate in a blow-off in Las Vegas with this street fight. Now, I don't even know if this is a blow-off. I don't. From WWE standards, it's not. I could see this again in 2 weeks. I could see this again at Hell in a Cell. They have no other teams on this show. So what other team is going to be fighting for the tag team championships on SmackDown Live? I don't get it. And there's no other team right now that's being positioned to take on a heel team outside of Gable and Benjamin. So why would you put the titles on baby faces when Benjamin and Gable are baby faces themselves? What would have been the better overall match? The Usos versus Benjamin and Gable, or the New Day versus Benjamin and Gable? It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't understand what the title change was for. Vince McMahon wanted a title change. There you go. Just doesn't make any sense to me, man. This was a very, very entertaining match. Everybody was on their feet. The entire first couple rows were on their feet. Because we don't see this type of thing often. So people get excited when they see kendo sticks and chairs and tables. We don't see this shit. We don't even see this at Extreme Rules, a pay-per-view that calls for it. The only thing we seen at Extreme Rules was a kendo stick. I don't even remember if there was a table involved in that entire show. This match was more extreme than everything on that show. Go figure. But WWE here did a great job with these two teams. It's been fun. There was a trust fall by Kofi Kingston off the top rope to the outside. The Usos caught him. Both Usos, Jimmy and Jay, caught him. And they looked like they were going to throw him over the barricade, but something got messed up somewhere. Kofi hit hard. He got thrown into the barricade, and he didn't know which way he was supposed to go. He didn't know whether he was supposed to go into it, over it, through it. Something looked completely messed up there. So there was a trust fall there, and he got sent into the barricade. Big E got back up. He was on the outside. Overhead belly to belly to Jey Uso. So that was that. And after that, the Usos were in control. Looked like they were going to win. Super kicks, super kicks, super kicks to Big E. Knocked him out. So the Usos were about to do, it looked like a double splash off the top rope. There was a table set up on the outside. Kofi gets up out of nowhere, pushes one of the Usos off the top rope, and he goes right through the table. In the notes, it says it's Jey Uso, who was shoved off the top rope as they were attempting a Superfly double splash. Jey gets shoved off the top rope through a table. My God, did it look nasty. It looked nasty. The end of the table was the only thing that broke, meaning that Jey either missed the spot completely, the table didn't give, and he hit all floor. He has to be hurt. He has to be hurt tonight as he's laying in bed in his hotel room. My God. Jimmy came over. He looked concerned as hell. After that, he had his back turned to both New Day guys, Kofi and Big E. Midnight hour, titles changed. New Day is your new tag team champions. Very, very fun match. I just don't approve of the tag team title change, especially with the direction right now of the pretty much battered and beaten SmackDown Live tag team division. There's no teams. No teams. And we might be down another team after what happened tonight later on in the show. Natalya defending her women's championship against Naomi. This, again, very underwhelming. The tag team title match was actually up to par and was up to expectations. This, not so much. Ellsworth and Carmella are on commentary, and last week, Carmella fired James Ellsworth, called him a genetic defect, said that he wasn't even a human being, then slapped the shit out of him, gave him a huge kiss that made all the prepubescent teens jealous. Carmella slapped the shit out of him. Now this week, she's got him in a dog collar. So she goes from firing him to kissing him, and now they have him in a dog collar. I guess they gotta get the most out of James Ellsworth as his contract is coming to a close. I suppose, I don't know. Don't know what that meant. But the dog collar was in leopard print. Leopard print. And my God, does Carmella look awful in that new ring attire, man. My God, she looks terrible. Who made that decision? Go back to the sweatpants, please. You look god-awful. So Naomi here, challenging Natalya for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. I lost my train of thought. I'm thinking about Carmella and how awful she looks in that singlet that she's wearing. Anyway, Natalya is kicked to the floor. Sharpshooter was broken up. Natalya was kicked to the floor. She attempted the sharpshooter. Naomi decides to dive onto everybody. She gets sent into the posts for her attempt. And, Carmella and Ellsworth got involved. There's a bunch of nonsense going on the outside. She goes into the ring post. Natalya throws her into the ring. Sharpshooter. She turns Naomi around so that she is looking directly at Carmella. No cash in, right? Naomi loses, taps out to the sharpshooter, no cash in, and Natalya retains the title. Where Natalya came from as a viable competitor on this brand, I have no idea. Not that I'm complaining, but do you take Natalya seriously? No. After months and months and months of doing nothing, now all of a sudden I'm supposed to take Natalya seriously. Now what happens when she loses the title? Is she going to be taken seriously? Is she going to be pushed in this serious tone? No, she's not. She'll probably go back to making fart jokes and talking about her 17 cats. Natty wins with the sharpshooter. 7 minutes. No cash in from Carmella. Please change your outfit. You look god-awful. I won't say it again. Dolph Ziggler comes out. Talks about how good he is. And he's good enough to not need an elaborate entrance to be a star. This is all setting up. Because he's talking about needing an elaborate entrance or to be a star. He doesn't need one because he's the best of what he does in the ring. He's better than everybody. This is easily and clearly setting up a feud between Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Because he's talking about entrances. He's talking about how you need this and how it's overdone and you need the cool theme and you need the overextended entrance and all this other shit. Who does that fit down to a T? Bobby Roode. And we haven't seen Bobby Roode in 2 weeks now. Good. Good. So when we see him, we'll be like, yeah, glorious, This is all setting up for Dolph Ziggler's last hoorah on SmackDown Live and in WWE because he's done. Easily setting up for a Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler feud for Hell in a Cell. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Bobby Roode says and does when he comes out, showing up Dolph Ziggler with the entrance. So it should be very, very entertaining for Dolph Ziggler's last go-around in the WWE. He comes out and he speaks to the crowd. He goes away for a couple seconds, comes out and does the Bayley entrance with the Bayley buddies. Corey Graves was like, Byron, I know you want to say it. And then Byron's over there acting like a small child. I don't believe he's doing this to Bayley. This is so disrespectful to Bayley, So he comes out as Bayley and then he goes away for a little bit. Comes back again, and he comes running down to the ring dressed as the Ultimate Warrior with an Ultimate Warrior mask. This one actually got him boos. This one was ridiculous. Dolph looked absolutely ridiculous doing this entire thing. You know, he got the Bayley one nailed. He got the Shane McMahon one, which was the best one out of all of them so far. But this is clearly leading to a Bobby Roode feud for Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler rants about how anybody can do what he just did, but no one can do what he does in the ring. And he couldn't care less about any of the people watching in the arena or at home, and he just walks away. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Hype Bros. This one went to Gable and Benjamin. They win in 2 minutes. Top rope clothesline by Gable into a powerbomb by Benjamin. After the match, Mojo shook hands with Shelton and Gable. Mojo encouraged Zack Ryder to do the same thing, and he just left. He ignored everybody. Zack Ryder looked pissed. There's another team down the SmackDown drain on Tuesday nights. Now how many teams they got left? I don't count the Ascension. I don't count Breezango at this point because they're too busy eating donuts from Titus Catering and talking about extraterrestrials. 2 teams. 3 teams. Usos, Benjamin and Gable, and the New Day. Something needs to be done with the tag team divisions on both brands. SmackDown Live reads a complete revamp for their tag team division. Zack Ryder looking like he's getting pissed off enough that a heel turn is imminent for Mr. Long Island Iced Z. The ending to SmackDown Live, seeing Kevin Owens in the ring with Vince McMahon. And this was very, very, very shocking, to say the least. Now, I don't have video of it, otherwise I would play the audio of what Vince McMahon and Kevin Owens stated. But I will read my notes instead, because I was taking notes during the show. So, Owens is in the ring, and he had enough of it. He had enough of everything. Vince McMahon comes down. He wants Vince McMahon to come out. So, Vince said the moment Owens files this proverbial lawsuit, he's going to be on the phone with his attorney. He hopes to hear Owens on the other line, and he would state these words to Kevin Owens if he does file a lawsuit to WWE. Kevin Owens, you're fired. That's what he would say to Kevin Owens if he wants to file a lawsuit to everybody in the WWE, including him. McMahon dared him to file a lawsuit. He says he's been involved in a lot of lawsuits, and he smirked. He smirked. Punk, I'm looking at you, bro. He's been in a lot of lawsuits and courtroom battles. He said he hasn't lost one. For better or for worse, the laws of this land are written for people like me, Vince McMahon says. He said that there is a B associated with his name, and it stands for billionaire. He said by the time the lawsuit goes to court, there will be a B next to Owens' name, and it'll stand for bankrupt. He dared Owens to file his lawsuit again. Owens says his son, Vince's son, put his hands on him. Vince says he knows, and he suspended him. What else do you want me to do? He said he suspended him not because he put his hands on Owens, but because he didn't finish the job. And then apparently Vince McMahon got done playing Mortal Kombat because he was talking about bowels and livers and spleens laying in the middle of the ring. I don't know what the hell was going on there, but it was a little odd. I don't know who Vince McMahon plays with when he's playing Mortal Kombat, but by the sounds of it, it sounds like maybe Jax or Goro. One of those two. I don't know. But Vince says that Owens got what he deserved after he made disparaging remarks about him and his family. Vince says he's reinstating Shane for a match against him inside Hell in a Cell. Ooh, like we didn't know that already. Owens said fine. So then he says, Vince, I want you to promise me that he's not going to get fired after he beats his son senseless. I need you to give me my word that if provoked, I can beat a McMahon senseless, Owens said. Vince gave him his word and shook his hand. McMahon said a few things off mic. We couldn't really pick up what he said. But Owens, out of nowhere, headbutts Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon immediately is busted open. It looked like McMahon was busted open the hard way. There's no way any of that was staged or planned. It might have been planned. Vince got to be a beast if he told Kevin Owens, headbutt me and make it realistic. Make me bleed. Make me see the crimson red mask. I'm like, whoa. Vince McMahon immediately starts seeing red trickle down his face. Hard way. It was definitely hard way. Blood began to seep down Vince McMahon's forehead. McMahon tried to stand up. You know, he is looking his age. He's looking very old. Bags under his eyes. He isn't looking like Mr. McMahon back in the 90s. No. You know, Vince stood up. He pretty much charged at Kevin Owens, took a swing at Owens, but Owens blocked it and punched Vince in the face. Vince went down again. Referee comes into the ring, starts yelling at Kevin Owens, and asked Owens if he was crazy. Get out of here, the referee said. Owens gave Vince a super kick. Vince got up again. Gave Vince a super kick. And then he kicks Vince McMahon in the ribs. Corey Graves said Owens has lost his mind. Saxton said Owens has become a different human being ever since this entire United States Championship ordeal and then having to deal with the nonsense of Shane McMahon. 2 other referees came down and entered the ring. Owens gave Vince a super kick. He threw the referee down, climbed up to the top rope. Adam Pearce came out, one of the producers in WWE, and ordered Owens off the top rope. It looked like he was going to step down, but he said, fuck you, Adam Pearce. He jumped off the top rope with a frog splash on Vince McMahon. Unbelievable. Pearce got out of the way and let Vince McMahon eat a huge frog splash from a 270-pound man. A 72-year-old Vince McMahon ate a frog splash from a 270-pound Kevin Owens. So, that was a holy shit moment. After the entire thing, Kevin Owens couldn't believe what he did. He looked shocked. He was holding his face with his hands. Stephanie comes from the back and stares at Kevin Owens brutally for about a good 5 seconds. She then goes over to her father, tries to help him up with the rest of the EMTs. Vince is just in pain, saying that he broke his ribs. This is a major storyline. That was a big angle. We don't see Vince McMahon take beatings nowadays, man. We don't. This is not the Attitude Era. So when Vince McMahon interjects himself in an angle, when Vince McMahon interjects himself the way he did on SmackDown Live tonight, you know that this is a big angle, and this is going to be massive for Kevin Owens. This could be great for Kevin Owens. It already speaks volumes. It speaks volumes about how WWE perceives Kevin Owens right now, because if Kevin Owens is in a program with Vince McMahon, that is the upper echelon, top of the mountain for a WWE superstar. There's nothing bigger than that. Nothing. That's bigger than what the WWE Championship is doing right now. Kevin Owens is in the biggest storyline in this company right now. That is gold. Absolutely gold. Remember we talked about Jason Jordan last night? Jason Jordan right now is sitting in his hotel room somewhere, should be smiling from ear to ear. Back-to-back weeks. Great matches with John Cena and Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens should be doing the same thing. He's in a feud with Shane McMahon. He's in a feud with a McMahon. And he's gotten the opportunity now on this episode of SmackDown Live to beat the shit out of the CEO. Not many people have been, given that opportunity. There's only a select few that have ever put their hands on the chairman. This is a great situation for Vince McMahon and Kevin Owens. And the fact that there was blood, and the fact that Vince McMahon willingly gave his body up for Kevin Owens in this angle, you know this is a big fucking angle now. You know this is a big deal. So I am very interested to see this. And I'm loving this angle. It's taken so many twists and turns. Once it was about the United States Championship, and now Kevin Owens got screwed over. Repeated matches with AJ Styles, yeah. But WWE seemingly had layers planned. Then Shane McMahon getting personal with Kevin Owens, getting the families involved. Now Vince McMahon is here, another layer on top of this cake. Now the ultimate layer. The ultimate layer. Vince McMahon goes down. Kevin Owens wants a promise from Vince McMahon that Shane will not interfere because he wants to beat a McMahon senseless. Little did we know that McMahon was Vince. Very, 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 very good storyline progression with this angle. And this is going to be a big payoff. You mean to tell me You mean to tell me now, after watching this, you're not excited about Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon inside Hell in a Cell? The volatile environment that match will be inside Hell in a Cell? That's a match that calls for Hell in a Cell. After what happened now, that's the only match that should be inside Hell in a Cell. Because nothing else will live up to that structure in October. I think this is great. I think this is great. Can it rectify all the wrongs that SmackDown Live has done over the past couple of months? No. But it damn well is entertaining. And this is a huge turning point in the career of Kevin Owens. Because you know when Vince McMahon starts drawing blood, you know this is a big deal. Because we don't see it all that often. So that's your SmackDown Live review, man. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, hit that thumbs up. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to hop on Destiny. Tomorrow morning, Mae Young Classic final review. Thank you guys so much. I'm JD. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below with that bell for your notifications. And I will see you all tomorrow morning for the Mae Young Classic review. Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane, who is going to win the Mae Young Classic. I'll talk to you later.